Tim Pool goes off on the women from The View for fear-mongering and lying and acting like Donald Trump and MAGA is the worst thing to happen since World War II. And Tim Pool just absolutely nukes the women on The View, who are not only atrocious on the outside, also on the inside as well. Let's watch.
Joy Behar is worried Trump will pull Maddow off and The View off the air. You know, I saw that meme. I can't remember who said it. They said, Lord, was it Aaron McIntyre? He said, Lord, give me the Trump the left has created in their delusional minds. So here's the clip. Let's play it.
So you said recently that you thought that you, as an outspoken critic, could be a target yourself. Some people think that sounds overdramatic, but I'm right there with you. I think that he is so vindictive that he will go after, however he has to, through the IRS maybe, or even, through sponsors to get us off the air maybe, or you. Yeah. How seriously should we be taking that?
Well, so I was asked, am I worried about me? And my answer was, I'm worried about all of us. I'm no more worried about me than I am worried about everybody in the country. Yeah. I think it's bad to have somebody saying, give me as much power as you can in this country so I can use it to go after other Americans.
When did he say that? They just make shit up. When did he say, give me as much power? When did that happen?
Can use it to go after these subhuman internal enemies and I'll destroy them. Like, that's just not a good system for anybody. And I don't think anybody's safe if that's the sort of basis on which he wants to get more power.
Well, remember when Nixon had an enemies list? That was a proud moment for a lot of people if they were on the enemies list. Maybe we need to turn it around like that.
Well, I think that if he decides that he's going to go after you or me or anybody who's well known, we have resources, we'll likely be fine. But I think there's a pattern where he picks out individual people and effectively terrorizes them. I mean, there's Stormy Daniels wearing a bulletproof vest to get into the courthouse, right?
Once you have political violence, you have fascism following that.
So Stormy Daniels chose to be in this space. But I just want to point out how they're telling on themselves.
Yeah.
The things they are doing, they're like, oh, Trump might do what we do.
Yeah, Trump might do the exact things that we have done. I don't know, let's say to Mike Lindell, who had all of his products pulled out of stores. Or, I don't know, Donald Trump, who's been the target of specific persecution.
Or when she mentions the little guy, like, we have resources, we'll be fine. Yeah, when the big tech companies, for leftist reasons, went after all of these smaller Trump-supporting accounts.
Or when
the Jan Sixers, like, the list could go on.
It's crazy to me that but what's interesting to me is it feels like Joy Behar has no idea. She's like, it hadn't even occurred to her that the things that she is describing are things that they're actually doing. Whereas Rachel Maddow feels like she's like, well, as these are strategies we have observed, they might turn them on us. And it makes me think that there is sort of a level of sheep-minded Democratic voter that is like, no, but like when we're doing it, or this stuff is different because it's for justice and those people are bad. And she's like throwing out political violence because, 2020 was marked by left-wing rioters that destroyed cities, but that is not political violence to her. It's very weird. Whereas
oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but maybe this is for somebody watching. Okay. The right wants to utilize the power like the left has, and the left wants to gaslight the right and act like they're not using the power that they are. I think that's just basic right-wing versus left-wing currently at the moment. The issue with the Republicans and with MAGA in general is that they don't utilize the power that the liberals do because they try to make it seem like big government is the issue. It's why libertarians, like when they co-opted the MAGA movement and they got involved in the MAGA movement, and Republicans embraced the libertarians with such open arms, it didn't make a lot of sense for the Republican side of things. Now, if they went and did that to the Democrats, that would have been perfect, because the Democrats are the ones who are always using so much power and always exercising the authority, right? That is definitely there that they can use that the Republican side doesn't. So whenever we pick up, the Tim Pools and the kind of classical liberals, and we give them so much power within our party, it always ends up hurting us because they never want to do what the left does, is because, the left did it, so it's bad. And realistically, whenever it comes down to morals, it's only bad if it's bad. So, I mean, it's pretty clear right now, like, killing a baby doesn't make any sense at all, ever in a million years, because it's bad. just point blank period. The issue with these things is that people just, like the atheists of the world, they don't even comprehend morality. It's always like subjective. It's just weird.
Rachel Maddow knows this is something that's happening, and that's why she's fearful of it. She is at least appearingly cognizant of the fact that she is describing things that her side, so to speak, is actively already doing.
Yeah, and I mean, I think clips like this have started to become more common in the past 2 weeks. I honestly think this is them sweating. They see that we're seeing through the lies. They know what's coming, and they're fearful of it, and they're trying their best to, you know, position themselves and defend from attacks and spin. But at the end of the day, I think they know that MAGA is an unstoppable force, and it's a popular one, and they're up against a real fight, and they're freaking out because their lies are about to come crumbling down.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting when Joy was like, talking about a list. She said, "Oh yeah, Nixon had lists of people that maybe we should go ahead and do that before they do that to us."
She's saying Nixon had an enemies list, and it was like honorable to be on it. So maybe we should consider it being a privilege and an honor to be deemed an enemy.
Oh,
of
I
Trump.
see. Okay. Rather, she's not saying to create an enemies list.
No, they already got him.
I just also think there's a level of narcissism. Like, the first thing Trump is going to do, his top priority is getting The View off the air.
He never took a show off the air, as far as I know, when he was president.
No, he's not going to take a show
He never
off
shut
the
a
air.
radio station down, not like Zelensky did. He never did he get anybody fired from their role in the news industry? I don't think he got one person fired.
As far as I know, but we do know that that reporter from the Tennessee Star, who was publishing the manifesto, he's facing legal retribution for that.
For what?
He was publishing Audrey Hale's manifesto, and she's the shooter from the Christian school shooting, or Covenant School, and he is now facing legal consequences for this from the local government. So what you're saying is that the government does go after journalists, just left-wing governments? It's crazy.
I think what Don would do, Donald Trump, is he would go personal at people he didn't like. He wouldn't be like, from the power invested in me, I'm stripping you of your wealth and putting you in prison for these. He would just be like, you're fat. Deal with it. And like, but the problem is when he became president, he had all these people behind him, this new crowd of like sycophants that were willing to like live and die by the words, hypothetically, theoretically, or whatever, metaphorically. And so when he would insult people, there's this armada of people that would come and insult the person in addition that he didn't have before he ran for president. When he went from popularity 1 to 100 magnitudes, 100 times more popular. So that, I think, when people criticize like his bullying tactics or his like going at people one-on-one, it became kind of spiraled out of his control. When he would insult someone, it wasn't just like a one-on-one anymore. So I see why people...
Yeah, Donald Trump is one of the few people who has insults that are literally bigger than him. I mean, you want to talk about legendary. It's like, how many quotes from George Washington could you list right now off the top of your head? Give me 5. Yeah, you don't have 5. But you know what we will have? Because you'd be in prison too. Because you'd be in prison by Donald Trump. Or only Rosie O'Donnell. His insults are literally so legendary and so influential that they're bigger than him. And they will live to be far, far longer and older than him.
People are concerned with that behavior, but he didn't exhibit it that much. Like Rosie O'Donnell, he would duke it out with her.
But that was only pre-2016.
Yeah, it was real early in his career as a politician. If even, he didn't really do it. Did he do it after he was president a little bit? No, other people, he didn't go too hard. I mean, I don't know. I don't watch his stuff, but he wasn't like too hard in the paint with individuals.
I mean, the question is, does Joy Behar think that Biden has the power to be able to, and I mean, if Tucker Carlson was still on Fox or, anyone else, like, could he shut down a station that's privately owned? Does she think that's how this works? Or she thinks that Trump is suddenly going to invent powers that Biden doesn't already have? Like,
she described it perfectly, how it's going to work. He's going to go after sponsors. Going to talk to the sponsorships. You can never cut a show. You can't cut a show that has good ratings, that gets good viewership. The only thing you could do to mess with the show is strip its sponsors. That's what they did to X when Elon Musk got...
It's so illogical because it's ultimately deeply emotional. Because again, and I say this, I feel like too often, but I'm going to be a broken record here. all of this is just fear mongering, right? Democrats don't have anything positive to run on, so they have to run on fear mongering and compliance. They need their voters and their base to be so scared that they will leave their houses and go to the polls.
I think that they shut down Parler. I don't know exactly what the order of requests was was it on Amazon Web Service? Parler was hosting on Amazon Web Service, and then the administration came in and was like, we don't like what Parler's happening on Parler, so pull it. And Amazon was like, we'll pull it because we don't want to get screwed over by the U.S. government.
It's so shitty, the things that they can do and that they have done. Anyways, guys, that's all we have for today. I hope I see you in the next one. Like, comment, and subscribe. See ya.